are back, episode number 10 of the Sideline Sports Show. Ben and Tim here with you. Tim, it's been like 2 weeks, my friend, but how are you doing?
Doing good. Can't complain too hard, Ben. Definitely you have more to complain about than I do, that's for sure. Man, it's been kind of a crazy 2 weeks, man. I'm glad to know you're well enough to do the show today, man. Again, prayers up to you, and I'm glad everything's starting to turn a corner for you. So, and really glad to have you back and be able to do the show together, man.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I just came back from COVID, but then I had like some stomach problems that put me in the hospital for like a day. And so I'm back, I'm alive, I'm well. So that's the best part. That's the best part about all of it. So glad to be back here hanging out with you guys, talking some NFL and some college football that has happened. So Tim, let's break down some of this NFL stuff, because really that's what we were going to do last week until COVID kind of hit my household. And so let's talk about, probably for me, the biggest thing is the Falcons get this new coaching staff, and it looks exactly similar to what we saw last year.
No, not quite.
In my opinion,
at least with the Queen, you guys had leads, right?
Yeah.
You guys got the Eagles dominated, and the Battle of the Birds. The Eagles absolutely destroyed your Falcons, man. And my Panthers came out on top. We're 1-0, undefeated. It feels good, but we still have 16 weeks left. So, we've got a tough contest this week coming up with the Saints. So, and who looked mighty impressive. It was definitely the most impressive W in week one as they took down the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, who looked mighty pedestrian. There was a whole lot surrounding him and the entire organization of Green Bay, surrounding them in the offseason this year. So, and for them to come out and look like that in a weird game all around, just because it was a home game for the Saints in Jacksonville. It was just it was weird seeing a Saints logo on a field that was outside. It was very strange. But an overall, just a strange game. Again, I think Aaron Rodgers and company will bounce back, but overall, it just looked awful. And the Saints look great on defense, as the Saints usually do early on in the year. I mean, they've shown that they're going to have to overcome the loss of Lattimore, their DB. But overall, they usually show great signs of life with their D in early parts of the season. And they don't necessarily lose that. But as the season goes on, teams start to figure it out a little more. So teams are more are able to score more against them when it comes to later on in the season. But definitely you don't want to see the Saints early on. So unfortunately, that's what Carolina's got. And Carolina themselves, with Sam Darnold, I was impressed at times. And with the offense, the defense, I was pretty much impressed throughout. They played great. Now, again, I don't know how much of that was the fact that the Jets O-line just didn't block anybody at times in that game. I mean, just had an absolute, just a free path to the quarterback that Brian Burns had like 2 or 3 times. I mean, poor Zach Wilson. I mean, making your NFL debut and you get guys coming at you, they're just freaking freight trains at you, I mean, there was one time he got hit in the red zone and sacked, and he said after the game, he's like, man, that genuinely felt like I was in a car crash just because of how hard that those guys hit me. So overall, it was an interesting week one. There's some of the storylines. Trevor Lawrence for Clemson made his debut, had some really good, but I had a lot of bad, and not necessarily on him. And it was kind of a reminder, hey, we need to temper our expectations for the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. We got to let Urban Meyer figure this thing out. If he stays long enough, because people talk about all the time. It's like, all right, how long before he starts complaining about this health problem? So I think he's here to stay. I think he's going to be fine. Jacksonville, just not the week one you expected against a Texans team that really returns a lot of the guys that were from defense last year that were terrible, and with the exception, and they even lost. They lost J.J. Watt too. So overall, the defense shouldn't have been that great, and I was expecting a decent game from Trevor, and it might have been had it not been for the penalties, the drop passes. Yeah. I mean, and then Lawrence showed signs of being a rookie. He had 3 touchdowns, threw for over 330 some odd yards, but also threw 3 picks. And I saw one of them. It was right to a Texan defender. It was just not a pretty play at all. So I tempered my expectations for them, man. So, what about you though? What was your biggest takeaway from week one?
I was honestly shocked from the storylines going into week one. I think the team that probably shocked me the most was really the Texans. And I say that because everybody was oh, this team is not that good. Deshaun Watson is the only great offensive. Yeah, and Tim's like, yeah, I was the one that was saying
That was
stuff like
me.
that.
That was
And
me. Yeah.
everybody's going around saying, "Oh, this Texans team's not that good. This Texans team is nothing without Deshaun Watson. They're just going to be horrible. They lost J.J. Watt, as you mentioned. There's no
Will
one good
Fuller.
on. Yeah, Will Fuller's not even there anymore. This defense is just collapsed. There's no one good on this roster. And then Tyrod Taylor comes in and rejuvenates this whole entire offense. And I was watching the Pat McAfee show today, and he interviewed Tyrod Taylor, and Tyrod's like, "Hey, we got everybody here that we need to make this program a good team." And a lot of people don't see that outside of our facility, and I could see that because of the fact of, yeah, you had Deshaun Watson as an incredible quarterback, but he's going through all this stuff in the organization and outside of the organization. You lose people like J.J. Watt, Fuller on defense. And so now you're just trying to pick up where you left off. And you're like, oh, well, you get the Jags week 1, and supposedly Trevor Lawrence is going to be this great and mighty quarterback for Urban Meyer. And they come out and just look fantastic. I mean, the Texans looked really good. Now, are they going to be like a Super Bowl competing team? Probably not. But
No.
It is a good, shocking storyline to come into week 1 and say, you know what, if I were to pick somebody, it wouldn't have been the Texans. So that was probably the shocker of week 1. The Saints obviously are up there on that list as well. I didn't expect them to really blow out the Packers the way that they did. And I think maybe that noise that was surrounding Aaron Rodgers heading into week 1 was kind of maybe a disturbance here and there. That could have been a factor. I'm not sure. I can't really say that. The Raiders looked really good on Monday Night Football. They beat the Ravens in overtime. That was a fantastic game.
It was.
There's a lot of positives in week 1. The Buccaneers getting the close win over the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. That was a great game as well. I mean, you look at a lot of these games were competitive, and that's the good thing that you want to see in this week 1. I mean, the Bengals, the Vikings were competitive, which no one thought was going to be competitive. So that was a good sign for that as well. So a lot of Derrick Henry and the Titans struggled against the Cardinals, which no one really thought either.
Mightily.
Kyler Murray had
mightily.
Yeah. Kyler Murray had a great game. I mean, on fantasy points, gave me a huge boost in fantasy points. I think he had like 22 plus points in fantasy. So just great overall week for this NFL week 1. I mean, a lot of surprises that no one really saw.
Absolutely. And that leads me to the point of this week's, of all the games that we could have possibly had, we had a great opening act, with the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. But why did they have to give us the game tonight?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the Giants and the Washington football team.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. It's like this is like soured milk. You just want to spit it out. I mean, it's just no. I mean, at least coming into last week, the Washington football team had Ryan Fitzpatrick, and everybody loves that guy.
Yeah.
Well, now he's out. He's injured. He's not coming back for a few weeks. And Taylor Heineke, who is a good quarterback, and people might forget, he almost led the Washington football team to a win over the Buccaneers in the wild card game. He went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady in the playoffs. I mean, outperformed Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, all of them, and really truly gave Brady the biggest scare in the playoffs last year. So people kind of forget that, hey, Taylor Heineke is not a bad quarterback, but overall, I mean, there's not really a whole lot of excitement. I mean, you got Scary Terry McLaurin out wide for the Washington football team. I mean, Gibson is a good running back. And obviously, you got Chase Young, who's a second year at Ohio State defensive end. And so you got some intriguing matchups. And Daniel Jones, hey, Daniel, we gave you all these options. They got Kenny Golladay. They drafted Kadarius Toney. I mean, they've given him some options as weapons. He's got Saquon Barkley back if he can stay healthy. They're still working on the offensive line. They're kind of patching that thing together. But overall, I mean, it's like, all right, Mr. Jones, it's time for you to show up, man. Like, where you at? Where you been? It's put up or shut up time for Daniel because he's got those weapons that he needs to. So there are some intriguing storylines, but I mean, overall, this could be a very ugly game, like 17-14, 21-17, 20-17, somewhere along those lines. You're just not expecting much, but hey, I mean, anytime football's on the TV, I ain't going to complain. Meaningful football, I'm not going to complain. But I did want to get your opinion on this, though.
Okay.
There was you mentioned the Bengals as they took down the Vikings, in a field goal from Evan McPherson. They did beat the Vikings, but I want to get your opinion on Jamar Chase. It was a whole big deal coming in about his drops. People were worried, and what does he do? Comes out on my fantasy team, by the way, my 16-team league, and drops 6 catches, I believe, for over 100 yards and that 50-yard touchdown. So it seems like, okay, well, maybe that was overblown. What do you think that was? What do you make of that performance? I mean, do you like it? I mean, do you think we're going to see more from Joe Burrow in the Bengals offense? Or we're going to see more Joe Mixon? I mean, T. Higgins had a somewhat decent game, kind of quiet by his standard. So what do you make of this Bengals team?
I think this is the thing that people kind of overshadow a little bit, and here's why I say that. And I say that because sometimes quarterbacks and wide receivers, depending on who they are, just have really good chemistry. For instance, you look at Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. They have really good chemistry. Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford had good chemistry. And maybe that's the way it is for Jamar Chase. And that's the reason why he can be so productive, is because him and Joe Burrow work really well together. And that may be a chemistry that only works with them two. And that's why it works so well. And, and maybe it's the same amount of work ethic that they're both willing to put in. Joe Burrow, obviously, he's a guy that wants to work hard to succeed pretty much. And Jamar Chase is on that same level. And I think this offense is really good. I think if you added a little bit more to the offensive line, this would probably be one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL. It could be. I'm not saying that it is, because obviously right now it's not. But if you added more offensive line depth, that, Joe Burrow had time to stand in there and just pass the ball consistently without being hit every other play, then this offense would look really, really good. But with the additions that they've made, it's helped, obviously, as they got the win last week. But is it a concern going forward? I think the offensive line is. I think the offensive line is a huge question. But their wide receiver core has obviously gotten deeper, and it's great to have somebody like T. Higgins, Jamar Chase on your slot or even outside and just be able to throw a dime to one of them, because, they're going to go up for the ball and probably come down with it 50% of the time. So, they get the Bears this week, a really good defense. So we'll see how that goes, and especially a really good defensive line with Khalil Mack.
Right. And you're right. It is a good defensive line, but really, truly, it's more so an aging defense.
Yeah,
these guys kind of got exposed last week. I don't know how much of that had to do with the offense having a somewhat bad performance, but Matthew Stafford and the Rams kind of ate them alive. So it'll be interesting to see that matchup. It'll be in Chicago. I think, man, I think they'll win this week against the Bears, because, again, the Bears are the Bears, man. The defense is aging. The offense is still, honest with you, it's just not there, in my opinion. Not until they give Justin Fields the reins. I don't think that's going to happen. And I think they're going to go to Justin Fields sooner rather than later. Yeah. But then the next week after that, they get their first true test as they go to Pittsburgh. That'll be a good game to watch. Pittsburgh's defense is going to carry them this year. I was really high on Najee Harris for them coming out of Alabama, the rookie.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah, gambled on him with my first-round pick. Didn't quite have the performance, but, it's just week one. But the Steelers' defense is tough, man. T.J. Watt returns. He signed that big old huge contract extension. You look at this offense. We don't forget about Tyler Boyd. Don't forget about Joe Mixon either. They got guys like Samaje Perine and all them backing him up. This offense does have some weapons, and some very good weapons. But as you said, they took a gamble, went with Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell, who went to the Lions. So, again, that offensive line does have question marks. They did draft the guy out of Clemson. I forget his name at the moment, but they got him in the 3rd round. So they did dress the offensive line a little bit. Was it enough? I don't know. We don't have enough sample size yet.
Yeah.
But really, truly, you'll know that this offensive line is getting better as long as Joe Burrow plays all 17 games this season. So I'm with you. I do like the Bengals. I really do. But and then I also want to talk about the game of the week until the Monday Night Football game happened. The game of the week, in my opinion, before that happened on Sunday, was the Chiefs and the Browns. I mean, were you able to kind of watch that game a little bit?
A little bit. I didn't get to watch much, but I did get to watch a good glimpse of it.
Right.
Because and really the thing that stuck out was that huge pass to Tyreek Hill. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. That's video game stuff like that you can just make up. Patrick Mahomes throws a dime to Tyreek Hill. He just goes the other way and scores. Like, you can, if you're a defense, you can't allow a play like that. You just can't, because then it just kills your whole the rest of the momentum for that game. It's just like, man, you can't give a big play like that up, because it just shifts the whole, and it did. It shifted the whole momentum towards the Chiefs, and the Chiefs walked away with the victory. So, it's, for me, it was a great game. It really was. But, so.
Yeah, and it definitely is crucial, or it's a devastating blow to the offense, because at that time, the Browns had a 2-possession lead. It was 29-20.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you go right back out there, and in one play, wow, all right, they scored it, and it's a 2-point game. You're like, that was quick. In some ways, that may help because you get your offense back out there. But other ways, it could hurt just because of, oh, crap, we're back out there. We only have a 2-point lead. I have to score here. That puts a lot of pressure on Baker Mayfield, and that puts a lot of pressure on the entire offense. And it backfired on them, because they came out there and honestly, if it wasn't for the punter there, because he kind of screwed things up for them also. So not being able to handle that punt and set them up basically in the Browns' red zone. So the Browns really and truly should have won that game. They played. They had a great game plan going in. They gave up that. They said, don't give up big plays. And they didn't all game long until they gave up that 75-yarder to Tyreek Hill. And while it didn't cause them to lose the lead, it ultimately, in my opinion, what led to their downfall in that game. Just because of the simple fact you forced your offense to get right back out there. And after one play, and there's still 10 minutes left, you have to go back down there and score, or else Patrick Mahomes and company are going to. I mean, not many defenses are going to be able to stop them. Be lucky to slow them down. So it put too much pressure, and it just kind of turned the tide, and it gave the Chiefs what they needed to win.
Right. Let me get your opinion on this, because I think this is probably a big storyline that's been going around today. I don't know if you've been able to pay attention or not today, but I saw on First Take this morning that they were saying that Matt Ryan needs to finally own the loss for the Super Bowl a couple years ago. My thing is like, this is years ago. Why is this coming back up?
Why are we
hashing it now when Tom Brady's on a new team now? Obviously, I think the conversation is coming up because Tom Brady kind of took a jab in their little video this week as they are preparing to face the Falcons. And in the back of his computer screen is a 28-3 little graphic behind his shoulder as their little hype video for the week. And I think a lot of people are bringing that back up on Matt Ryan and saying Matt Ryan needs to accept the fact that he is the reason why this Falcons team has lost that Super Bowl.
Gosh.
What do you think of this? Is it really truly Matt Ryan's fault, or is it media trying to get under the skin of Matt Ryan?
It's media being media. And I say that as technically a member of the media. It's sometimes they go a little far, and that we all know the show First Take. They have 2 hours, they 10 hours a week, 2 hours a day, and they got to come up with some talking points. It's like, guys, is this what we're going to talk about every time the Falcons stink? Yeah. I mean, seriously, this is what we're going to talk about? I mean, because we're going to be in for a long ride this year, especially if they play like they did against Sunday against the Eagles team. Honestly, then that is probably be middle of the pack at best, and they did get dominated. But at this point, to bring up something that happened 4 years ago, I mean, look, was it embarrassing? Yes. Was it monumental? Yes. Was it historic? Yes. There's all those questions. But at the same time, bring it up in those contexts. Don't bring it up at random points. I mean, it makes no sense to bring it up.
Yeah.
Talk about this team because I mean, Kyle Pitts wasn't on that team. The running back Mike Davis, he wasn't on that team. I mean, Calvin Ridley.
Half that offensive line is not on that team.
Right. Calvin Ridley was still at Alabama, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, again, Matt Ryan's the only one left from there. Quit trying to put it on him. The play calling is what did them in. I remember that game. They did not run the ball at all. It's so they were still passing. It's like, hello, guys. If you throw a pass that's incomplete or you go out of bounds, it's going to stop the clock. You don't want to give Tom Brady any type of anything to work with. So that was more so on the play calling in that game, to be honest with you. So again, we need to stop rehashing this. Everyone knows what happened that night. 28-3 will live down in infamy, Ben. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
just it's going to happen. That's just what everyone. Honestly, unless Matt Ryan somehow rejuvenates his career and puts up another career year MVP and gets his team back to the Super Bowl, that's how he's going to be remembered. And it's unfortunate, but talk about him in those contexts. He's in the middle of a season. He's still in his playing career. I mean, you
talk about the now. Talk about why are they struggling now? Like, because if you bring up the Super Bowl team that was there years ago, and if you look at half of the Falcons roster, half of that roster is not even on the Falcons active roster now. They're just not. It's been a whole different team, whole new coaching staff. Really, the only true guy that I can remember that was on that team was Matt Ryan. And I think that's why a lot of people were singling out Matt Ryan because he was really, truly the only guy. Now, Grady Jarrett was probably on that roster. Deion Jones was probably on that roster on defense. We get that. But those aren't the big names that a lot of people focus on when they hear the Falcons. They think of Matt Ryan, your quarterback. When you think of Carolina Panthers, you may think of Sam Darnold. You think of the quarterback first because that's who stands out the most. And so I think that's why a lot of people are attacking Matt Ryan versus other guys like Deion Jones or Grady Jarrett or all these other guys on defense. So who knows? But I don't really see them being good this year. I just don't. They kind of established a run game early, but Kyle Pitts was kind of like a fly on the wall during this game. I think he made like 1 or 2 catches, and that was it.
Yeah, he was a rookie, man. I mean, some rookies they can come in right away and be explosive. Some can't. So some just aren't. And it may not even be Kyle Pitts' fault. I'll be honest with you. I was watching the Panthers game, so I have no idea. I saw 32-6. There was no point to even kind of go back through that game. Yeah. But Matt Ryan's always had a decent running game, but the one that you could actually kind of count on. I mean, he had Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman for years. Then it was just Devontae Freeman. Then Devontae Freeman left, and he had Todd Gurley last year. Todd Gurley, I don't understand what people were so not so high on him because he actually had a decent year for your Falcons, if I remember correctly.
It was decent. It was, and that was the thing. I think a lot of people were used to the 2 running back combo. And last year, it was really just truly everybody was like, oh, we only want Todd Gurley. That's all we want. And that's what the Falcons gave us. And then after that, Todd Gurley just kind of started, oh, he's not giving us the stats that we want. We're going to just bench him now. And that's what happened. And eventually that led to him not being on an active roster today. And I think that's the hard part for Falcons fans is because they want to see success now. And every team does.
Right.
Every team wants to see that success now. But sometimes it takes time to build that. And it's like Cody saying this right here. Matt Ryan needs a decent offensive line to even be considered as an MVP again. And that's 100% true because, I mean, that's how you establish a run game. You got to have an offensive line. And I think that's the hardest part for the Falcons right now is Matt Ryan got lit up on the left side of that offensive line on Sunday. And that was the biggest problem for Atlanta. They could not stop Philadelphia's rush on the left side. Right. And I think if you can't even stop that, then you can't even establish a run game or even establish a passing game because the quarterback doesn't have time to either hand it off or doesn't even have enough time to give it to somebody like Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, the guys on your outside. So it's going to be a huge hole to fix for the Falcons. And then on the other side, you got to stop the other team from scoring so many points on you. I know like Jalen Hurts is a decent quarterback, but he was throwing bombs to Devontae Smith the whole game, the whole entire game. So this Falcons team has got to regroup. They got to get better somehow, some way. And if they want to win, they got to be fast. They got to do it fast. They got to. So
absolutely. So you want to pick some games, man?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back,
let's do it.
We'll pick some games. We'll do college and we'll do some NFL. That way we can cover both sides of the football wall. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Sideline Sports Show. Tim, let's go through some games. Let's pick them. That way we can enjoy this weekend. As we're going to try to do a short show today, since a lot of stuff has, happened. I'm just kind of getting back to the use of normal life again. So, and I think Tim had an injury to his back during a workout this week. So,
workout, baseball, yeah. Some things going on. I'm already starting to feel a little tight back here. So
we're getting old. We're getting old, Tim.
Man, I'm 24. I shouldn't be feeling like I'm 54. I don't know. There's something back here gave. I'm gonna go sit on a freaking heating pad. And do what the old folks used to do back in the day.
And if you want to
feel really old, I hope my dad's listening. I don't know if he can hear me.
Well, Tim, if you want to get comfortable, then I suggest you go get our new sponsor shirts.
Yeah, man.
Section 103. Look at this. ATL, you got the Georgia Tech logo right there. Fantastic. Literally, no lie. When it comes in the package, Tim, did you get your package? Because I got mine. I got mine. And first off, I have to say thank you to Section 103 because first off, it comes in this beautiful package, and it says your favorite. It said for me, for Tim, it said something different. For me, it said Benjamin, your favorite shirt is here, or your new favorite shirt is here, and that's what it says on the outside of the package. They gave me this wonderful, performance activewear shirt that says ATL Georgia Tech, and then they also gave me a really cool, comfortable hoodie, and my wife has already stolen it, loves it. I'm probably never going to get it back. So. Shout out to them.
Welcome to being a husband.
Exactly.
And when you have a girl, you share everything, and you usually don't get it back.
She was like, "Oh, look at this! This looks comfortable." She touched it, and she's like, "Yeah, you ain't getting it back. It's too comfortable. It passed that softness test." And a lot of the guys know what I'm talking about. It's got to be that soft test, and so it passed, and now it's not mine anymore. So, shout out to Section 103. You hooked us up. You did fantastic. I love it. Tim loves his shirt as well. I already know.
I do. I love it.
He's not wearing it this weekend.
I haven't yet because, it was a little small for me, but I wanted it that way. It's not on them. I wanted it that way because, and for people that don't know, I'm on a weight loss journey. I weighed 273 pounds just in February. I'm actually down to 225 today. So, yeah. So,
Bravo. Tim.
I have a few more pounds to go before I fit in a shirt, but that's my goal. My goal is to get down to where that I can fit into that shirt because it's an awesome shirt. It's It's nice, it's soft, it's comfortable. I look forward to wearing it, but I've set that as a goal. Dad can wear this and enjoy this, and I did it on purpose. So they gave me the size I wanted. It's a goal for me to be able to fit into a large. But so I hope to be there hopefully within the next month or so. But we shall see. Again, Section 103, shout out to them. It was great. I love the shirt. It's actually a very cool design.
Yeah.
So I heard they're going to be branching out soon, correct?
Yes, they are. So if you're not a Georgia Tech fan, be on the lookout because they could be entering some more schools later on. It could be Clemson, could be Georgia. Not gonna say anything, but maybe it's the future down the road. Who knows? So
can I get a shirt that says 73-7 and our punter had more had more passing yards than
you may not
quarterback?
All right.
Hey, then can I get a 73-7 on the back and then a punter had more passing yards than your quarterback on the front? Can I do that?
No.
and have it be orange? Can't do that.
No, I'm not the maker of the shirts, and I I automatically say no. So it doesn't matter. So oh well. We got to pick games, Tim.
I could ask.
We got to pick games. All right. Tonight's game, the Giants and the football team. Who you got? We'll start NFL first, as you can tell.
Yeah, and like I said earlier in the broadcast, Daniel Jones, it's time for him to put up or shut up. I mean, this is important here. I mean, again, they got weapons for him. Barkley's back. You know, drafted Kadarius Toney. You signed Kenny Golladay from Detroit. You got him away from there in free agency. I mean, this is a put up or shut up year for Daniel Jones, and he needs to win. It wasn't a great look for him last week against Denver, but again, Denver has a good defense. They've had a good defense for a while now, so I give him a little bit of pass. But tonight he's got to win. So, and I think he does put up enough. You know, I love and I respect Taylor Heineke for what he can do, and I respect the heck out of that Washington front seven. But I think the Giants win this one 20-17.
Yeah, I got the Giants in a close one as well. I like. And it's just like you mentioned, they got to be able to prove something if they want to be successful this year in their own division. So, and that starts tonight against the Washington football team. So, give me the Giants in a close one as well. I could see that 2017 is probably a very accurate score. So, give me that as well.
You can't copy my score, bro.
I am. Watch, I just did.
Oh my gosh,
I just did.
All right. And you can't do that. Holiday.
I just did. And Cody, that game is not on Fox. It is actually on the NFL Network, according to ESPN. That's what it says right here. All right.
And shout out to YouTube TV. They got it.
Yeah.
So I'm able to watch the game tonight. So I was stoked about that. I was like, wait, YouTube has NFL Network now. Let's go. So
all right.
But sorry, Kobe.
Bengals Bears. Who you got?
The Battle of the Bee.
Yeah, Battle of the Bees.
And it's not. I realize what that could be taken as. It's not. I promise you. It's I'm not talking about the bad word. I'm not talking about the bad word. This is a family appropriate show. I swear.
Yes.
Oh man, Bears did not look good at all. Man, did not look good at all against the Rams. Again, the Rams are going to be a contender in that NFC West. Again, great debut for Matthew Stafford, Jalen Ramsey and company, Aaron Donald on the front on the line. Dominant defense. Honestly, the offense looks great. I mean, the fact that they've gotten Jared Goff out of there and they brought in a veteran and a better quarterback in Matthew Stafford. So they just tore it apart. The Bears defense, which not many teams can say that they've done that. But I think the Bears defense, which is the best part of this team, by the way, it's not even close. They're starting to get older. It's starting to kind of age a little bit. And with a bad offense, you can only carry them so far. So. And again, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow showed great confidence. It showed the ability to air out the deep ball between the two. And then you also got these other weapons, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. I mean, these guys can come at you a lot of different ways. I don't think the Bears will be able to slow them down completely. So give me the Bengals, and Bengals starting 2-0.
I agree with you, Tim. I really do.
And you are just taking everything because you know how smart I am. You know how smart I am.
Yes, sure. All right. I like exactly what you said. The Bears defense are getting older, but this young offensive team from the Bengals, is just really, really good with Joe Burrow. I expect another great week out of Jamar Chase. So give me the Bengals again. Two quick games. Let's go Saints Panthers. Who you got? It's tough for you. That's why I want to really pick this game because I know you have a side here where you want to say Panthers, but I know you have a side that you also want to say the Saints because you want to be right.
Yeah, okay, well, wow. Okay, just basically tell us your pick without telling us your pick there, Ben. Man, I like Darnold. He performed well at times and then didn't perform well at other times. First game of the year, where he plays the entire game, so maybe there's something to that. I mean, I don't know. The Panthers, with the exception of last year where they got blown out at home against the Saints, but played it close in the dome, that may have 2020 something to do with that. I don't. They seem to always kind of play them close relatively at home and then kind of struggle on the road. I think they get back to this year. I think they play really well. But I still think that the Saints overall, the defense, man, they suffocated Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones. I mean, they suffocated that team and that offense, man. It just made it look bad. I mean, it made it looked like one of the worst offenses in the league. And that was offense where Aaron Rodgers was the MVP a year ago.
Yeah.
But they didn't look like it. Now, they are going to be without Marshall Lattimore, their cornerback. He's having, I think it was thumb surgery or something like that. So he's going to be out a few weeks.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to take care of that. I mean, Panthers got weapons. You got DJ Moore with a full, healthy Christian McCaffrey. He's going to have a big game. He's going to have to. If he can have a big game for the Panthers, that's going to be their key to success in this one. And because that's going to open up Robbie Anderson. That's going to open up DJ Moore. That's going to open up everybody. That's going to be able to give the ball anywhere, anytime, any place. It's just going to open up the offense more. And the defense, man, they played outstanding. I don't know how much of it was the defense, the defensive play calling, or the fact that the Jets' offensive line was just woeful for the good majority of that game. So, I don't know. I look at this and I want to pick the Panthers. I do. I really do, man. Getting a starting 2-0, first place in the division. But you're right.
Do it.
You want me to do it? You want me to do it?
Do it.
Hey, I'll do it. Give me the Panthers. Upset at home. 27-23.
Oh, there you go. Well, Cody, he's got the Panthers in a 24-17 game. So
I like your thinking, Cody. I like your thinking. I usually don't like your thinking. I usually don't, which might be a bad thing for me. I'm not going to lie. But I like your thinking here.
All right. I'm going to go quick. As obvious, I said Saints.
Sorry, you told me to go quick, and I didn't go quick.
So,
sorry.
It's okay.
My bad.
And then last one for NFL, we'll do it quick.
Okay.
Chiefs, Ravens.
Ooh.
That's going to be the 8:20 kickoff, kind of like the primetime game for NBC.
That's
the 8:20. Yeah, Sunday Night Football, 8:20.
Ooh, talk about a good game for that. Now, Patrick Mahomes' company went to Baltimore last year and destroyed them. Granted, nobody was in the stands to see it. So I think things will be different this time. And the Ravens will be looking to bounce back. This team's too good to be 0-2, but, I mean, they very well could find themselves. I mean, the Chiefs, we all know what kind of team they are. As long as they can pass protect Patrick Mahomes, I mean, this team is unstoppable. Now, the thing is, the Ravens are going to have to do what the Browns did for the good majority of that game. You're going to have to bend, don't break. You cannot give up. The Browns did great right up until the fourth quarter when they gave up that 75-yard bomb to Tyreek Hill. Before that, they kept everything in front of them. They played, I believe they played two safeties in the back. So they didn't let anything get by them, and they kind of made the Chiefs march down the field because that's what you have to do. The Baltimore defense is better, in my opinion, than the Cleveland Browns defense, which they didn't show it against against Las Vegas. But I think they still are a good team and are a good defensive backfield. And I think that they can do that. I think they'll be able to keep receivers in front of them. But I think ultimately that the Chiefs are going to be too much. I mean, you can never doubt Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid and company. Give me the Chiefs and to start 2-0 and the Ravens 0-2. I
agree. Again, I don't know why we're agreeing so much, Tim. I really don't.
It's concerning.
I like the honestly. Chiefs. Yeah, it's concerning. It really is. It may just be mental health. I don't know. Who knows? I got the Chiefs. I'd say at least by 10 points. So, all right. Okay. Quick college picks. We'll just wrap it. All right.
Hey, tell me to shut up if I'm going too long. Just tell me to shut up.
All right. Virginia Tech at West Virginia. I got the Hokies. They've looked really good this year, and I think there's a surprise team in the Coastal. Give me the Hokies.
Yeah, hey, Ben, I'll go real short with this. You ready?
Yeah.
Mountaineers, ACC sucks.
Wow. All right. There we go. Ooh.
I mean, there's no other way to say it. You know, the ACC has been awful this year, basically. I mean, Clemson losing to Georgia, offense looked terrible. I know it's Georgia. It's one of the best defenses in the country, if not the best.
Yeah.
So, but again, whole ACC has just looked bad. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Furman gives NC State a game on Saturday night.
That's true. No, that's true. All right, Michigan State at Miami. I got the Spartans. I really do. Miami has shown me nothing this year, and it's sad to say. It's just like Tim said. ACC is just down this year. Give me Michigan State.
No, Ben, call it like it is. Say it with me. ACC sucks. Say it.
ACC sucks.
Thank you. It's truth, man. It's really bad. It's unfortunate because we remember back when Florida State had a good team in 2016.
Man,
we had Lamar Jackson, we had Deshaun Watson, and the rest of the ACC, Pitt that year knocked off Clemson. I mean, ACC was a good conference back then. But since then, it's just been bad.
Yeah, it has.
Just awful.
I think, honestly, after I watched the Notre Dame Florida State game, I was like, man, Florida State actually looks good. And then the next week, I was like, no, these teams just look really bad.
Dare I say,
two bad teams playing each other.
Yeah, dare I say that is the Florida State played the best Gamecock school in the Southeast?
Yeah, that's true.
I know South Carolina's 2-0. I don't care. The worst team in the FCS, Southern Illinois. And I'll give them credit. They came back and beat East Carolina, who I didn't think that they should beat. That's a decent East Carolina team. So I'll give them that. But, again, I think they lose by 4 scores at least against Georgia, which is why the line – well, again, it's not really that hot. Wow. I mean, have you seen the line from that game? It's like Georgia minus 31.5.
Yeah.
So, I mean, then winning by 4 scores actually would probably be a win for South Carolina.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And please, Georgia, please, I'm just going to lift up high. Please, do not let South Carolina score a touchdown because Clemson fans will never hear the end of it. Oh, we scored a touchdown against Georgia. Why couldn't y'all? And I have no response for it. That's the worst part. I have no response for it. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe because you guys were down 42-0.
The only good response you can have, Tim, the only good response that you could maybe have is that Georgia said, well, we put our second team in.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's about all. Yeah, that's about all I got, I'll have to play that card because they play that card every time they lose by 50. So,
All right. Alabama at Florida. I really don't see this being much of a contest. Hopefully it is, but Alabama.
This lets you know college football is not we're in a great place. When a top 11 matchup in the SEC, it's
this is your CBS game.
Yeah, as Cody points out, it's a top 11 matchup, but Cody points out Alabama's probably going to win 42-21 in that type area. They may even win worse. And it's going to be in Florida. That's the worst part. It is in Gainesville at the swamp.
It's in the swamp, yeah.
And Alabama's probably going to win, but we don't care. We're going to win by 4 touchdowns. Yeah. And it's just I hope I'm wrong. I hope Florida gives them a game. I really do. So. But I don't see it happening. I just don't.
I don't either. All right. Auburn at Penn State.
Oh.
I like the game. I like the game, but
hey, Ben, do you have a birthday coming? You have a birthday coming up?
Yes, I do.
Well, then you might want to go to Auburn and get your cupcakes because holy cow. I mean, dude. I mean, have you seen Akron, one of the worst FCS teams, and then you play Alabama freaking State?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's like, Auburn put up over 60 points both games. Ben, I think we could have gone with Hart County High School team and rolled up 60 points on both those teams. I mean, seriously.
They have been impressive. So.
Again, I was not high on Auburn at all.
I was not either.
At all. And
remember, I put them at the bottom of the West. So
it surprised me because I had them at the second bottom. So neither one of us are high. So I feel like I know where you're going. You should know where I'm going. Give me the Nittany Lions.
And I agree with you.
At home, whiteout. I mean, there should be no reason why they lose this game. And then again, people on the podcast maybe listening to this on Sunday and be like, those idiots, what were they? Because Auburn goes in there and wins. But, hey, it'll be fun. But still, I don't see Auburn going in there and winning.
I don't either. This is my upset pick, Virginia at North Carolina. I say this because the ACC sucks. Virginia.
I've got you saying it now. Let's go.
Give me Virginia. And I say this is my upset pick for a reason. UNC does not have the same run game as they did last year. And they are just not as good as they were last year. So, and Virginia somehow, some way, I know they have not played any decent teams yet.
Oh, no.
But give me Virginia. And this is sad to say. I have Virginia beating North Carolina.
No, Ben, you know why my head is in my hand right now?
Why?
Because I picked the same thing. I picked the exact same thing, and which means we're going to be wrong.
Yeah.
That was my upset pick of the week too, because Sam Howell, again, projected coming into the season as a top 10 pick, number one
Oh,
QB.
man.
I mean, they didn't even look great against Georgia State for a little, at times in that game. But Brendan Armstrong, again, people talk about, Virginia this. I'm like, settle down. They played William & Mary and Illinois.
Yeah.
Or if you really want to take off someone from Illinois, say Illinois. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So that'll really take them off. I said that to someone from Illinois, and they gave me the death stare. So
they were like, "What'd you say?"
And I was like, I didn't stutter because I knew what I was saying. I knew exactly what I was saying. I was trying to tee them off, but yeah. Anyway, it was those two teams, Illinois and William & Mary. So there's not a lot to judge off either team. So I think this is going to be a fascinating game, and I think North Carolina wins. Virginia wins by a late last second touchdown.
Yeah. All right. 3 more, and that's it. We'll do quick. The last 2 should be quick. Arizona State at BYU. I liked BYU last week, and I'm going to give them the edge again. Give me BYU.
Man, I'm kind of with you. I like BYU at home, but not so fast, my friend. I think Herm Edwards. I think company going there, and I think they win a close one. I think 27-20 to 19-21, that type of area. So again, I think the Fighting Herm Edwards get it done.
The Fighting Herm Edwards.
I think they get it done.
All right, these 2 are basically for our friends here in the upstate and in Georgia because it's the Palmetto State versus the Peach State rivalries. Let's start with Georgia and South Carolina. Tim, you've already kind of given us your pick for this.
I feel like there should be. I feel like we should alter this one. Should we go Georgia by 100 or South Carolina? I feel what's more possible? Georgia scoring 100 or South Carolina actually upsetting Georgia? Probably Georgia scoring 100.
Yeah, probably Georgia scoring 100. Now, granted, it doesn't even matter if they have Stetson Bennett in the game or JT Daniels. I think if Stetson Bennett's in the game, they're still going to win the football game because that dude came out and balled out against UAB, scored 5 touchdowns, and found Georgia's offense in one game. And
to be fair, Ben, I think you could put either one of us out there with a blindfold and a mask on, and I think we could still beat South Carolina with the rest of Georgia's roster.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
That's true.
We could, so
yeah, that's true. So you got Georgia, obviously. I don't want to pick Georgia.
No, I'm going South Carolina. No. Yes, I'm going Georgia.
I got Georgia. I don't want to, but unfortunately, I have to because I want to be right. So sorry, South Carolina fans.
Yeah, you guys and your clean old hate over there. Yeah,
and this is sad because these are 2 rivalry games that the spread is just horrible for both games. And our final one is my Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets versus Tim's Clemson Tigers. All right, let's create the most possible scenario.
Will it be better than 73-7?
Yes. I at least
freeze frame right there.
I hope so. I really do. I hope at least.
Can we get to 80? Can we make it 80-0? Can we do it? Can we do it?
Does Clemson score 100 or does
the only way Dabo? The most points Dabo's ever scored was 77 on Louisville in 2018 or 19, whichever one it was, and that was because Louisville couldn't stop freaking Eastside or Riverside High School around this area from running the football. Because Clemson, I remember Clemson's scout team offensive line was bowling their starting defensive lineman over. Yeah. And Dad was like, "Well, he's like, I can't just tell them don't score." So, but other than that,
we're running the football.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what else they want me to do. It's like I'll just bust out the old Georgia Tech option here, I guess. Yeah. I don't, but and that would probably still work. But I mean, you got to remember last year, Clemson and Trevor Lawrence. It wasn't like he lit it up, but watch the tape from that game. Yeah. Clemson receivers were open by miles in that first half. I mean, we could if anybody could have made those throws. Yeah. I mean, Mario Rogers had burnt one of the Georgia Tech defenders by probably good 10 yards. Yeah. I mean, there were guys wide open in the end zone that didn't have guys around for like 15 yards. I mean, it was bad. So a lot of the stuff was correctable. It's definitely not going to be anywhere near as bad. And this Georgia Tech team is very tough. They're very tough. They're very physical. So they're definitely going to be – it's going to be improvements for sure. But I still think we're really, truly – it should be – if Clemson really is a legit national title contender, it should be in the realm of 52-14, 52-21, somewhere around that area. If Clemson is truly to what they should be, that really, truly should be what the final score should be.
I think for me, I'm not willing to put the score up above 50 just yet for Clemson. And I think that was, for me, the only reason I say that is because of the fact. Oh, I know. Hold on, I'll display that in a second. But let's do it now. Let's do it now. All right. Cody's got the upset. Georgia Tech 27-24.
Cody, I'm going to ban you. I'm going to ban you. I mean, like, dude. Look.
Let me say this.
No, you realize Ben did not pick against like Alabama at all, right? And you're picking his team now. Come on, man. What the heck? I'm just reminding him. You picked against Alabama. I did too, but you did as well. Yeah. So
now,
I'm just saying, are you really going to pick Georgia Tech to beat Clemson right there? I mean, hey.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a Tech fan. I live, breathe white and gold. Okay.
We can.
Yes, but
yeah.
My thing is this. I don't think it's going to be as bad as last year. I don't see Georgia Tech only scoring 7 points, but I don't see Clemson scoring above 50 because Clemson has not shown that this year, even against South Carolina State. Has Georgia Tech improved? Yes, they have improved, but I don't think they're to that point yet where they're going to be able to beat Clemson. So I love that Cody is being super bold here and saying that Georgia Tech's going to upset Clemson, but not yet. That's way too fast. I see the score probably being like a 49-14. That's reasonable. Yeah.
I thought you say like 49-42. I was like, whoa.
No. Like I could see Clemson scoring 42 or 49 points, and Georgia Tech scoring about 2 touchdowns. It may be 3 if you're generous.
I can see that.
That's a reasonable score for me to pick for my Yellow Jackets. Are we gonna lose? Yeah, but at least that shows me, okay, you're being more competitive, and that's what I want to see ultimately. So that is the end of today's show. As we tried to do it short, but Tim, we did it in 52 minutes. So
that's my fault. I'm sorry.
Tim was like, "Hey, let's go short today. I don't feel that great. I'm getting old. My back's starting to hurt." So he was like, "Hey, let's go short." But it's our first time back. We had a lot to say. So it kind of fills in that gap.
Yeah. All right. Now I gotta go get in the shower. Then I gotta watch football. So
yeah, that's right.
I got stuff to do. Yeah.
Yeah, important stuff. Right. We got to take care of some important stuff, like following us on Facebook right there.
Yes.
Sideline
Sports Show.
Yes. Facebook, Instagram at Sideline Sports Show, YouTube page right there. You can watch all of our episodes back in the coolest possible way on YouTube, and you can subscribe there. And you can go to our Twitter page, which is basically where we roast every single comment that you give us on Twitter. And it's at Sideline SP Show. So go check it out.
What kind of roast you been doing?
I don't know. I
haven't been on Twitter in a hot minute. So.
Well, I mean, I feel like most of the roasting stuff for sports is on Twitter anyways. So if you just want to get roasted on Twitter, just go ahead and throw a comment out like that where you think Georgia Tech's going to win by 3 points on Saturday, which I would probably send it to the Freezing Cold Takes account first and then retweet it. And
I wish there was a way for me to comment back at Cody right.
He said go Tech, so just go. You got the mic, bud. Just go ahead. Just go.
But Ben, what I would do, what I want to do, and what I want, I would want to tell Cody he's number 1, but I can't do that.
Oh, there you go, Cody. You're number 1, buddy. Congratulations.
I think he knows what I'm talking about, and he knows it's all love. He knows it's all love.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. We will be back next week covering NFL, college football, and a couple other stuff next week as we go more in depth. Tim, have a great week, and we will see all of you guys next week.
You too, my brother.